want to make the world a better place. And I can do that by influencing kids. And when I go home at night and I lay my head on the pillow, that's the question I ask myself is, did I make the world a better place today? And hopefully if I carry that with me, my daughter sees that same kind of service mentality and understands that. And if you approach your life with that as your goal, you have a good goal, a valuable goal that's worthy of your best effort.
Like probably without realizing it, I've literally like seen with my own two eyes the impact that my dad has. And I wanted a fulfilling life and a fulfilling career that made me feel the same.
Imagine you're a high school history teacher and your classroom is right down the hallway from your daughter, also a high school history teacher. Or flip that around, imagine you're starting your career as a teacher, following very closely in your father's footsteps. That's the reality at ThunderRidge High School. And in this episode of DCSD Notebook, Mr. Johnson and Miss Johnson are going to tell us about their unique father-daughter professional-colleague relationship and how much education, mentoring, and making the world a better place means to their family. I'm your host, Jason Hackett, Communication Director for Douglas County School District, which, by the way, just before the release of this episode, found out its graduation rate last year was 93.6%, the highest in the Denver metro area. There's a number of reasons for that rate of success, but at the core, it's about dedicated, excellent teachers. This week, it's my honor to share a unique and amazing story about a multi-generational commitment to education and what makes ThunderRidge such a great learning community. All right, we are here at ThunderRidge High School with a father and daughter teaching pair. I'm going to let them introduce themselves and tell us what they teach. So go ahead.
My name is Brad Johnson. I have been in the district for 31 years, and I teach American history at ThunderRidge. I've had a long coaching career, and I absolutely love my job. I've been at ThunderRidge High School for the most part since it opened up. I was a teacher at Ranch View when it was the first level of the school, and then Ranch View moved to its new building, and I stayed here at ThunderRidge, and I've been here pretty much ever since.
And my name is Annabeth Johnson. I am also an American history teacher here at ThunderRidge. I have been here for 1.5 years, so my stats aren't exactly as impressive, but I love my job. I love working here, and I get to work with my dad every day, so that's cool.
And you're coaching.
Oh, yes, and I coach girls flag football, which is very new. It just became a CHSAA sport 2 or 3 years ago. So that's been awesome for me to connect with kids outside of school like that.
We just saw something come through. There's a couple of flag football girls from our district that are getting to go to the Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
Is that any of your kids?
It's none of our kids, but yeah, it's blowing up all across the country. Girls can get scholarships for it. I think it's only has gone up to the D2 level now, but more and more D1 schools are looking to start programs and recruiting girls. So it's such a cool thing. And yeah, the girls absolutely love it that play. So
it is amazing to watch.
Yeah.
I've gotten to see a couple of games and it is so cool.
It's so fun.
And the dedication that they've got.
Yes.
And in my role, I've interviewed some of those players and they're like, it's so cool because I never thought I would get to play football.
Exactly. Yeah.
And they grew up around it and now they get to.
Yeah. It's really, really cool.
It's awesome now because we're starting to see girls who are kind of selective about what sports they're participating in. We're seeing girls choose to play flag football. And so as the sport grows, we're going to see more and more young girls that are actually flag football players and not girls that play another sport and flag football.
Right.
Which is a unique situation for Annabeth because when she was in high school, there was no flag football. So being one of the first girls flag football coaches as CHSAA starts, it's a pretty new experience. Pretty cool to be on kind of the forefront of that.
It's really cool.
Yeah. And what do you coach, Brad?
I actually have quite a lengthy coaching resume. When I started out, I coached flag football for the middle school. I also coached basketball here at ThunderRidge for about 11 years. And I coached baseball here for 29 years. And I did 6 as the head coach, and I was an assistant under a great coach, Joe White, who started the program. So he and I started the baseball program here a long, long time ago at ThunderRidge. And so I actually I've had 2 seasons of not being the head coach. So I've kind of taken a step back and I'm enjoying it. I miss the kids, but I don't miss some of the struggles you face as a head baseball coach, especially when you know it's going to snow all spring.
Right, exactly. Yeah, your blood pressure is probably lower at this point.
Much lower, yes. It's great.
Sure. So you coached flag football. Did you go to your father for a little bit of help on that side of things too, or?
I haven't actually.
Yeah.
So much of flag football has been me figuring out football, which I watch football. I like the NFL, stuff like that. But to like figure out how to translate that into two girls that have never played the sport before has been like a pretty big learning curve of like I think we were like halfway through last season and one of our girls was like, "What's a sack?" And I was like, "Oh," like I realized we never actually told you what that like. So that was a huge learning curve. Just like girls that have never interacted with this sport, much less played it. So
for sure,
that's been a learning curve. You coach boys flag football, didn't you? Yeah. So
and at this point, that was so long ago.
Yeah.
At this point, I'd have to come to you to ask how to
the
flag
rules
football.
and stuff.
That's been a really cool thing for me as a dad, watching Annabeth really get involved in our school and truly understand what it means to be, part of a high school culture and jump into coaching and jump into her teaching. And the lesson we've always valued is your goal is to be an excellent teacher and an excellent coach, but you're an excellent teacher first. Coaching means just so much outside of the classroom as far as the relationships that you can build. And just, it adds a level of value to your teaching career that, I've been a part of 4 state championship teams. We have 2, I've won 2 in baseball and 2 as an assistant in basketball. And those were some of the most incredible memories of my teaching career. And the things that coaching exposed me to, I'm really hopeful that Annabeth's going to get to go do some of those things and go to some football camps and learn from some great coaches and hopefully have some positive mentor coaches that'll enrich her career. So it's been great for me. And it's one of the things I've really valued about being here.
Yeah,
absolutely. Well, and to also, like you mentioned, building the relationship with students when you're a brand new teacher last year.
Yes.
Like that's a big part of it, I'm imagining, right?
100%. That's why. I mean, I grew up watching my dad coach, so like I knew the value of it. And I always played sports and stuff in high school, so I knew I was going to want to do that when I started teaching. I didn't think I was going to do it year 1 and put all that on my plate. But like you said, like building relationships with kids, not only the kids I had in class, but I got to know so many other students that I would have otherwise never known. And like, that's so cool to me. And it's so cool. Like your relationship with a coach is similar to your relationship with a teacher, but it's a lot different, right? Like I'm teaching you the skills of playing a sport, and that translates more into like teamwork and accepting when you don't know how to do something and asking for help and stuff like that. So getting to interact with kids and get to know them that way was so valuable my first year, and like has really benefited me this year too, because now I have some of those kids in class and like, or I have their friends and they're like, "Oh, you coached my friend," and stuff like that. So yeah, building relationships is such an important part of teaching. And I think, and I guess what he instilled in me, that can only be done so much in the classroom, right? I have 90 minutes with these kids a day. You can only get so far. So that was a huge reason why I decided to do it my first year.
Is it almost you kind of get instant credibility as a teacher, like, oh,
yes.
New teacher here, but oh, she's a coach.
100%. Yeah. Yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, I didn't have Miss Johnson, but she's my flag football coach. I loved her as a coach and stuff like that. So, and like just kids seeing your face in and outside of school, it builds a positive image, I guess, and relationship to students without even like directly doing anything, I guess. So yeah, credibility wise, I guess, the way to build it.
It's so important too, because the relationships you build are lasting relationships. I'm still talking to players that graduated. Shoot, we had one of my players in our first class. His son is now, playing baseball in Southern California, and we got graduation invitations to his son's graduation, which was wild because he's kind of the carbon copy of his dad, as Mike Watson from our first graduating class. But to build those relationships as a coach, they're lifelong relationships, and you have that in the classroom, but the way you get to know the kids that you coach with is just on such a deeper level. You see, it's good to see kids struggle and overcome that struggle. It's good to support kids when, they have success, celebrate that. It's just a way to get to know kids on a deeper level that you really don't get to experience in the classroom as much.
For sure. And the idea that you get to help them figure out and kind of equip them with those tools for life.
Yes.
For those setbacks and things like that. And
yeah, so it's been it's been so cool for me to watch her as a young teacher and to see the confidence in my daughter as a coach and to see her lead kids and guide kids and, strategize how to coach football and learn herself, as a lifelong learner, to see her continue to grow and not get sedentary and watch her evolve, and to see her really kind of value how important those relationships are means a lot to me, because I know she's going to be a great teacher because she values the right things.
So speaking of valuing the right things, let's go all the way back to how we got here, that we have a father and daughter both teaching American history in the same high school. Like, how did that come about?
Yeah.
Like, just inspiration of,
I'm being held here against my will. I had no choice. No, I knew like super early on that I wanted to be a teacher. My mom is a teacher too. She teaches elementary school in the district, actually, but I knew that I did not want to teach elementary school. I like little kids. They're great. I couldn't do that all day. And I've always had an interest in history. Again, who knows if that was a conscious or subconscious decision that I made just growing up with
something to do with
yeah.
it. I don't know.
But I've always known that I love that. So when it came time to decide, like when I was graduating high school, going to college and stuff, I didn't even consider anything else. And then by the time I was a senior in college, student teaching rolled around and didn't get paid to student teach. So I did wind up having to move back home. And just growing up around ThunderRidge, like I know this community so well. I've been going to basketball and baseball games my entire life. I know so much of the staff here, but being a younger teacher, I wanted to try middle school first, because they say if you can conquer middle school, you can conquer the world. So I student taught at Ranch View Middle School with one of his former students, actually, Becky Carson. And
she's an amazing teacher.
She's a fantastic
phenomenal
teacher. Yeah. So I student taught with her. It was amazing. But then when it came time to apply, I just was thinking about it and I was like, I don't know, should I do high school? I liked middle school, but I don't know. And I wound up just kind of applying for the job here, like on a whim. He didn't say anything about it. Like we didn't really talk about it much. I just applied here and I did my interview and I loved the people I interviewed with so much. And I was like, I hope I get it, but like I understand they're in a weird position. Like I don't want them to think they have to hire me or do anything or stuff like that. So I mean, I put my all into that interview because I wanted it to be me. Like I wanted them to hire me because of me, I didn't want to nepotism it.
And I this is one of the things that I completely stayed out of any conversations with anybody who had anything to do with the hiring process or anything like that. And one of the things I was really proud of, Annabeth, and I told you this multiple times, but the day you interviewed here at ThunderRidge, you had 4 interviews that day.
Yeah, it was like 2 years ago, right before we had that snowstorm, right before spring break. And so we were about to have 2 days off. And so every school was like, come in, please come in. And I was like, okay, so it's a crazy day.
There's a snow day looming. So
Yeah.
They all lined you up and you just were exhausted after that day. But
It was crazy.
one of the things I was really, really proud of you for is she had 5 interviews that day. And I think you got 4 job offers.
I did.
Which made me really proud of just kind of how you approach this, the professionalism, the hard work, the dedication, and how much you care and are knowledgeable about teaching as such a young person. Yeah. But to get 4 of those job offers, I was really proud of you. And it left you with some options where you could make some choices about where you wanted to be. And I have loved ThunderRidge High School. I've spent my entire adult life here. I love our community. I love our kids. I have great friendships here. It is my entire adult life, and it's been a really good life. And I was really glad that you did well in your interview and that you made the choice to come here, because I think it's brought me a lot of happiness in my life. And I wanted to see that for my kid. Who doesn't want to see that for their kid as a father? But you had so many choices to pick from. And
I think that's why I chose here, is because I've seen the ins and outs and the exhaustion of teaching, but I've also seen my dad stay here for it must be an amazing place if someone has stayed here for their entire career. So I think that was part why I chose it. Like I said, I know the community so well. I had already built relationships from student teaching over there. I didn't go to ThunderRidge when I was in high school. I graduated from Chatfield. And I also saw that was a part of it too. I saw my experience there versus some of the people I knew that did go here, and they were two very different. Maybe one was a little more enjoyable than the other high school experiences. So that was part of it too. And yeah, I'm so thankful every day that I chose this as my job.
Wow.
Yeah.
How there's so many pieces of this that are just fascinating to me. How cool of a story is this from a parent standpoint to just be like, on one hand, it's sort of kind of cool to feel like between your wife and you being teachers, to know that you inspired one of your kids to also be a teacher. That says a lot about their respect for what you do. First of all, how cool is that?
I hope so.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. And when I first started teaching, my thought, people were, why do you want to teach? Why do you want to do this? And my philosophy is, I want to make the world a better place. And I can do that by influencing kids. And when I go home at night and I lay my head on the pillow, that's the question I ask myself is, did I make the world a better place today? And hopefully if I carry that with me, my daughter sees that same kind of service mentality and understands that. And if you approach your life with that as your goal, you have a good goal, a valuable goal that's worthy of your best effort. And I think you can go home after work and feel like you did some good for the world that day. And hopefully that's how Annabeth feels about it. And hopefully that's what drives her for 30 years, because you can't go wrong if that's your philosophy.
We always joke because any restaurant, any mall, anywhere we go in the South Metro Denver area, Mr. Johnson? Is that Mr.? And it's kids from 5-10 years ago. It's kids from now. And we're standing in Target for an extra 15 minutes just talking to this kid. I don't know. But I think that probably without realizing it, I've literally seen with my own two eyes the impact that my dad has. And I wanted a fulfilling life and a fulfilling career that made me feel the same. I mean, I'm not asking every kid to come up to me and say, I am a Target. That's not why I'm in this. But to see that has been really cool. And I wanted that for myself. So
that's really cool.
Yeah.
And so did you know from a super early age then?
Yes, I did. I teetered with other ideas. I think I wanted to be a dental hygienist for a second. And then I was like, wait, I'm cleaning people's teeth is great, but I wouldn't be changing anyone's lives. Or like my dad said, I don't know if I could lay my head on the pillow every night and think I made an impact today on someone somewhere. So I knew pretty early on. Yeah.
And that's something that, I've had conversations with my wife. She's an elementary school teacher. I was telling Annabeth this on the way up here. And she knew from a super early age, she had no question about it. I want to be a teacher. And she has devoted her life to it. And I don't want to say that anybody that comes in late in life and changes their mind and decides to be a teacher or something like that is any different.
Right.
But there's something pretty cool about just knowing and having that sense of this is my purpose. Because there's a lot of other people, myself, as many different jobs as I've had. There's still times I don't know what I want to be when I grow up.
Yeah, totally.
And I'm nearing the end of this career. And I know I'll look back at my life and feel like I hope I did some good. And I have no regrets about not going out and making $1 million and doing things like that. I feel like I've made an impact, and that's what's important to me. My career's taken some interesting turns, though. I was an assistant principal in this building for 3 years, which was an entirely different relationship that you have with kids. And then I was an assistant principal in a middle school. I was a finalist for a few principalships. And I realized when I was doing the administration side of things that I was missing what was filling me up. I was missing kids. And the path, following administration, I admire the people that continue to do that. But the reasons I became a teacher were becoming less and less factors in my daily life as an administrator. So an opportunity to come back to the classroom happened. And I jumped at it, and I've not regretted a single moment of making that decision to come back. But I also felt like I needed to test the waters and see if I would feel as much fulfillment in that role as I do as a teacher. And I definitely did not, for me personally. I know there are people who definitely get that out of that job, but I just missed the relationships I had with kids in the classroom. And so I think Annabeth seeing my life as an administrator versus my life as a teacher has kind of shined the light on which one fits me better. And hopefully, she'll make decisions throughout her career that will guide her. And I don't regret testing the waters because it taught me something that I needed to know about myself. And I found out everything I need to know, and I'm back here doing what I love. So, and she may go through that same path in her career, and we'll see. So
we've had that kind of conversation in my house too. And my wife is like, I can't imagine leaving the classroom. No, I can't. And so there are some teachers that are just born to do it. And you can see it in the classroom when you watch them with kids, and you just know it, and it's such a cool thing to see.
Well, that's how I feel when I get to go down and see her classroom, and it makes me really proud to watch her teach. Yeah. And, my background as an administrator, I can be pretty harsh on her too in giving her some evaluative feedback. But fortunately, when I go in there and I put on an evaluator lens, I see nothing but great things, and she's doing an awesome job. So I'm really proud of her.
Thanks, Dad.
As a dad and a coworker.
There you go. So that was going to be kind of my next set of questions here. How does that work then as coworkers, and how do you draw the line and separate things? And I have a hard time picturing how I would do that with my daughters.
Yeah. It's so funny because so many kids, because our last name is Johnson, which is so common. So many kids are like, wait, are you? And like so many kids don't put it together because we don't I'm not like, oh, I got to go ask my dad for, stuff like that. I would say, sometimes we eat lunch together, but we don't really interact much day to day.
No, I joke about this with people, my colleagues. I'm like, I haven't told Annabeth what to do since she was 12 years old.
No, he learned that pretty quick about me.
Pretty much. At a young age, she was on her own, making her own decisions and develop her own personality. And in some ways, I feel bad for her because I think that there are times where she has to work twice as hard to prove something to other people, which she's resilient and she's tough and she's determined. So she usually is pretty successful at doing that. But our relationship, she's home living with us right now too. Saving.
I live and work with my dad.
It's awesome.
It's awesome.
It's so awesome.
Yeah. So we get plenty of father-daughter time at home.
Right.
But she's a colleague of mine when we're here at school, and I respect her. And, we actually have some planning time together where we're teaching a course that's the same. So I love kind of mentoring her as far as the planning process. I love seeing her ideas. She's got great ideas. And as an older teacher, I like to see a fresh pair of eyes, and who better to give me that than somebody I admire and respect and trust, and I know where she comes from. She gives me some great ideas, and it's awesome to have a younger person mentoring me sometimes.
Yeah.
That was actually something I was going to ask.
Yeah.
It's kind of the almost a generational difference and approach, and understanding maybe how younger kids think and learn and things like that. And
yeah, that's, definitely just even outside of being here with my dad, I see that as such a huge advantage of being a younger teacher is I was just in it. I was just where they were. So I kind of see their perspective a little bit more, maybe a little bit better. And sometimes even just the way I talk, I can communicate it to them in a way that they maybe understand a little bit better, or relate better to. So that's what I like. Being a younger teacher, I know you guys can't see me on this, but I don't look like I look like I'm in high school. But being a younger teacher, I think, has so many advantages, whereas my dad has the advantage of experience and knowledge. And so I love to take that from him and get his perspective on stuff. I made this activity, I made this lesson, I think kids will really like it. Realistically, is this a good lesson? Stuff like that. So that's been really cool.
And
our teaching style is very similar, though, if you can imagine. But it's pretty cool to put my own twist on stuff that he's done for, 25 years.
And honestly, I love having the opportunity to see my daughter every day. Like as I get closer to the end of my career, I value it so much that I can hopefully be here and mentor her and, kind of give her the tools that have allowed me to have a long career. Teaching's a hard job, and you're going to have bad days. You're going to have great days, but you're going to have some bad days. And, one of the things hopefully I'm able to do is help her weather those bad days and have some way to approach problems that maybe she hasn't thought of, and just to kind of guide her to come to her own conclusions so she has the tools to do that in her career for the rest of her life.
It is nice, like, when you start a new job and there's like really stupid little questions that you have that you're like, I can't ask that. I have my dad. Like, that has been like, as silly as it sounds, like so nice starting as a teacher, because it's like, where do I go during a fire drill? Like, nobody told me. Like, stuff like that I probably wouldn't ask anyone otherwise, but like, you can ask the stupid little questions.
And mine are, how do I upload this to Canvas, or how do I move my sandbox courses over?
Yes.
So all the new tech issues, I have to go rely on Annabeth to help me, and I can teach her how to run the overhead projector. No, it's been awesome having her as a resource too, because one of the cool things is I've never been out of touch with kids because my kids grew up. So I've always known the hit songs, or like I'll joke with some of our students, like, hey, I didn't see you at that concert last night. The kids are like, you were at that concert? I'm like, I wasn't at the concert, but I knew about it because my daughter knows about it. So it's allowed me to kind of still be kind of cool.
I was going to say, you get to ride the coattails of her being cool. It's because she's still young.
Well, I think I'm cool.
Yeah.
But I don't think she thinks I'm.
Nobody else does. Just
Yeah.
kidding.
Men of our age, we get to that point where we're like, oh yeah, I guess I'm not cool anymore.
Yeah.
When did that happen?
I'm starting to feel it.
Right.
Starting to feel it. But now I've been replaced by the younger, cooler version of me. So
exactly.
So I can handle that. I think she's up to the task.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. So deciding to become a history teacher,
Yeah.
was that also kind of part of being inspired by your dad's work then?
I think so. I mean, I think so. Like I said, I think I've always just had an interest in it. Like that was always my favorite class in school and stuff like that. And I just really love how, like, the human aspect of history, I guess. Like, I saw it when I was in school, how much I could connect to it and like understand it through like a relationship to it, I guess, if that makes sense. Like, whatever happened in history has led us here. Like, I think just my personal interest in it is what made me want to teach it. But I also have seen like that same thing in students. Like, so many of my students that maybe struggle in other classes have a lot of success in my class because either they have a personal interest in it or just like the nature of what we're learning, like they can connect to in some way, somehow. Like when we learn about the Wild West, I'm like, you guys, like that's why we're sitting here right now. And so a lot of them like can feel more of a relationship to it, I guess, which is why I love teaching it. So yeah, I always kind of knew. I also knew elementary was never going to happen.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I said, I can't.
So do you get to kind of hold that above your wife's head a little bit?
Oh,
she found me.
It was pretty fascinating. Annabeth and I went and visited my wife at her school on her birthday. And oh my.
I was tired after like 30 minutes of doing it. She teaches second grade.
Elementary school teachers deserve a medal.
They do.
There is no way I would survive in that environment. They're like, they're so energetic. And,
cool.
my wife, she's passionate about what she does. She loves it. She teaches at Gold Rush Elementary. It's a great school. She's super happy there. But man, going in there and seeing those second graders, we come home and complain about very different problems.
Yeah.
I go home and, hey, a kid threw up in my shoe today. I'm like, well, that didn't happen in my classroom. Yeah, there's a very different set of problems in the high school.
Oh, sure.
But talking to my wife, she's like, how do you guys hang out with those high school kids all day? And she sees them as an animal she doesn't want to try to tame. And I see the second graders as an animal I don't want to try to tame either. And as far as just the energy level, she's, and my wife's an incredible teacher. We've been very fortunate. My wife was an Apple Award nominee in the district, and I was an Apple Award nominee, and I can't wait to celebrate when Annabeth is an Apple Award finalist in the district. And
Pressure.
we've already got a little bit of competition, though, going on between us. ThunderRidge does a door decorating contest around the holidays.
Yeah. You're looking at the champion, not him, me.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I'm a little sad.
Yeah.
But last year, who was the champion last year? Who won that last year?
Okay, last year I got third, and this year you got honorable mention. So
But last year, who
I've
was the
placed
champ? Who was
both
the
years.
champ? Yeah, so I won the door decorate, which is awesome because, it's the whole school. So I was really lucky. I won it last year. My seminar kids did a phenomenal job. And now Annabeth won it this year, so she's going to talk a lot of trash about it.
taking over the legacy.
There you go.
So we have a pretty healthy rivalry at school, too, which is pretty fun to kind of play out at home. And I'll never hear the end of it.
No, exactly.
Ever.
It's so funny, too, to hear kids who had him last year, me last year, whatever, just be like, you're so much like Mr. Johnson. And I'm like, I wonder why.
Right? Yeah.
I had on the first day of school, there's always a few kids that are confused by the two Johnsons and
Right.
where am I going? So
Did I go to the right?
yeah, every kid I'm always like, make sure it says Miss Johnson. And then kid's like, it's Mr. Johnson. I'm like, do I look like Mr. Johnson? The kid was like, well, kinda. I was like, it was so funny. I was like,
I'm sorry.
That one backfired in my face.
Okay.
I'm
was-
really sorry.
I was like, you got me there.
Yeah, exactly.
It was really
I feel like
funny.
genetics.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah, but definitely it's funny to hear kids who have had both of us like compare us to.
Yeah, that is pretty interesting.
Yeah.
And did they buy into the whole rivalry thing?
Yeah, they totally do.
Oh, yeah.
Our
Sure.
seminars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
do.
that's good.
Yeah, our kids, they talk some junk to each other. It's pretty
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah, it's funny.
Oh, that's got to be so much fun and just
It is.
an extra level of rewarding all the way.
Yeah.
For me, it's like it really is like the cherry on top of, my career is the fact that I get to come to school with her every day and, go down and see her and, hey, how you doing today? And is there anything you need? Is there anything I can do for you? And get to have lunch together and share ideas as colleagues and stuff it's really, really cool. And I feel I'm so proud of her. Just, I really wanted to have the opportunity to mentor her in her first couple of years. And she's done such a great job. I feel like I haven't had to, mentor her in as many ways as I thought I would. And that makes me really proud of her as a dad to see that, she's holding her own and she's just crushing it. And I'm proud of her. And so
Thanks.
she's going to do well.
Thank you.
There's no better feeling as a dad to be like,
No.
you've done all you could to set them off on their path, and then she's back and you get to watch it. How cool is that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome. Eventually one day I'll be subbing for her when she's sick.
Yeah, I've got a sub.
I'll go in and be like,
Rest of
this
my
is
life."
horrible. What are we doing in here? What are you teaching these kids? No, it'll be pretty cool when we get to go in there. I have a son, Annabeth's brother, who's a year and a half apart from her. And he is not in education, and he's got a great job. I'm really proud of him. He's working hard. But sometimes I think him being in a house with three
Yeah, he's
teachers
back at home too.
is
Poor kid. Yeah, he was the one, I was telling you this before we started. He was like, heck no. Like I was like, heck yes. And he was like, no way. But he's living at home too. So we do limit our school talk at home for his sake because, again, like I was saying, like totally different problems than we have.
Sure.
Like he's trying to balance an account and
it is pretty interesting. I'm so proud of him. He's a great young man. He's doing awesome things, but he has to put up with all three of us,
Yeah.
which is exhausting for him, I'm sure.
Sure.
Yeah.
So in college then, and knowing that, did you know in college you wanted to
Yes.
be a history teacher?
Yeah.
Did that also kind of give you a leg up, kind of having all this background and everything?
It was nice. Yeah. Because I majored in history. I graduated from Colorado State. So I majored in history. And then I minored in education, like social studies education pretty much. So that helped. One, that I was really interested in all my classes. But two, yeah, like having some background knowledge. And when I didn't know what the heck was going on in a class, I could just call my dad and be like, explain this to me like I'm 5
Right.
because I don't know what I just read. So that was really nice. And I loved my time at CSU. Great history department there. And I got to do all my practicums were up in Poudre School District. So I got to see like a bunch of different teaching styles and different kinds of schools before I like figured out where I wanted to be at. So that was really, really cool. But yeah, definitely I would say I maybe had an advantage. But it's so funny because so many people in my program were like, my dad's a history teacher. My dad's like, it's such a generational thing. I feel like sometimes that, oh yeah, plenty of us were like, yeah, oh, it's so funny. All of our dads were history.
That's
No one's
so
mom.
Well, it was interesting too, because I also like to think I painted a fairly realistic picture of what it takes to be a teacher. You know, I didn't want her to go into a job like this is pretty demanding and be naive about what was to be expected of her or what she would need to do to be successful in this career. So I think I painted a pretty realistic picture for her, and she still wanted to pursue it. And so I was supportive of her, and I think she made a great decision, and she's going to do a great job. And
Yeah.
it's fun to watch her grow. It's really fun to watch her grow.
Especially being like younger. My friends are starting like their finance jobs or their whatever. And I would say that like, I mean, just in comparison to some of the other jobs I see and like starting other jobs, I feel happy with my decision. And like, I mean, especially I feel happy with my decision when it's June 29th and I'm doing nothing and they're all going to work. But no, I feel like so much more fulfilled, I think, than maybe some other younger people in different careers do. It's like you put in your time at another career and that feels fulfilling. But like this is one of the only jobs where you feel it every day right away. So that's been really cool and like definitely solidified my decision to do this job and work here especially. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you're making a difference and helping feed the future.
Yeah, totally.
And you just started your master's.
I did.
Yeah?
Yeah, I am starting my master's.
Continue on the path. You'll be able to apply so much of that.
Yes.
But it's going to be interesting to watch her manage those demands
And coach.
Yeah.
and teach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do have, I mean, my master's is fully online. So, and I'm a 2020 graduate. So I have a little bit of a leg up on the online school thing. Like when it was like, make sure you do a discussion post, and I shuddered. It's like, I haven't seen that phrase since my freshman year of college. But I'm a little more used to it. And I guess in doing it younger is so nice because I am like, my brain's still a little bit in school mode. So, but yeah, I'm really excited. I knew I wanted to do my master's too when I got into teaching. So,
yeah, I advise both my daughters do it as early as possible because it's so much harder like later in life.
Yeah.
When you've got kids and whatever else, like both my wife and I did that when our girls were little.
Yeah.
And there's chunks of that time where I'm like, I don't remember going to the zoo or anything, you know, because maybe I didn't go because I was working on something.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, what's been really fascinating too is, you know, COVID changed education. It changed everything quite a bit. And, you know, Annabeth was the graduating class of 2020. So she showed up to school one day and never went back in her senior year. She showed up not knowing that they weren't going back to school. And so I think part of her development was the longing for, she never really got to say goodbye to school. She never had a last day of school because 2020, they just showed up one day and left. And I think that helps her empathize with kids.
Totally.
And I also think it helps her kind of stress the importance of the relationships you build at school and how quickly that just you might show up to school one day and not go back.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And watching her be a student as a freshman in college when they were isolated, there were 4 kids in their class and they were 12 feet apart and they were all wearing masks. And it was a difficult transition into college from high school. And I think, like I said, I think that helps her kind of have some empathy for what our students get. And I think it also maybe helps her relay the message that kids need to appreciate what they have and enjoy field day and enjoy going to basketball games and enjoy going to our football games and enjoy every practice and game that you have, because like she went through an experience where she didn't get some of those things, like a senior prom. It just didn't happen. So I think that's helped her value some of those things more.
Yeah. So I came back so I could do 29 proms and 30 field days. I will have repayment for what I lost.
31 field days. You're forgetting something.
Oh yeah.
I'm I might have snuck Annabeth out of Chatfield High School
Oh yeah,
for
I
one
came
day.
to a few. I've come to a few field
And,
days when I didn't teach her.
She might have been a guest field day participant.
Right.
ThunderRidge
Should be able to.
ThunderRidge High School. It's such an amazing experience
It's
here
so cool.
that I didn't want her to miss that. And Chatfield didn't do it. And I was like, you got to come see what's going
Yeah.
on here.
And that's part of like why I mean, not just field, but that's part of why I wanted to work here. Like the culture here is so cool. And like I said, different from my own high school experience. Like there's reasons for kids to want to come to this school. And like just outside of like academics and stuff, the relationships and the experience that they can get here is so different from another high school. And I wanted to be able to like be a part of that as a teacher and show kids like the value of, you know, showing up to school every day and like doing the work isn't always the most exciting, but like look at what you can get out of it, the experiences you can have and stuff like that. So that was also part of why I knew I wanted to work here.
Sure. The value of that community.
Yeah, totally.
And the things that we're starting to hear about after so much, and especially going back to COVID, like isolation and things like that. Your generation knows that isolation, that loneliness, that, you know, where so many of them just have friends on their phones.
Yes.
They don't hang out in person. But here you get to do all that and contribute to that and show them like this.
Yeah.
It's good to be around real people.
Yeah. I think it's important for them to hear that from a younger person too. Cause like them hearing that from my dad, he's like, you gotta know, you gotta talk to people.
You darn kids need to get off your stinking phones.
Yeah. But to hear it from me and be like, you guys, like not everything is on your phone. Not everything is what happens to you in high school, you know, stuff like that. Like, I think hearing it from me maybe has some different kind of value for them. I like being on my phone too. Don't get me wrong, but like I don't do it while I'm up here teaching you guys. Like, you know, stuff like that. Like,
and that's been interesting for me as an older teacher because, you know, I'm the old guy sharing the wisdom with them. You know, you guys will look back and regret all the time you spent on your phone. And trust me, life is worth living. You go out and have experiences instead of staring at a screen. And it comes across differently, but it's a pretty similar message, which is kind of crazy between the two generations. As her dad, I'm like,
I didn't like
get off your phone.
My dad, yeah.
Get off your phone.
Right.
There's a whole world out there you need to experience.
Sure.
And I think that as she's gotten older, I've been really proud to watch her recognize that. And hopefully she's passing that on to her students and getting them to understand it. But she also she's a digital native. Like she has grown up in this world where she understands the value of these tools and how to use them and how they can benefit her. And for me, that's been awesome because she's been able to share the positive aspects of things that as an older teacher, you're maybe like, I don't know if that's useful to me. And then she'll highlight the things that, this really is pretty useful to me. And it's not that I'm stubborn in my ways or anything like that. It's just, it's a hard transition, learning new things. And so it's been cool having her here. And I've always had the belief that and this is really a philosophy, every bad teacher makes every teacher look bad. You know, we're in the public eye all the time. And so bringing teachers in, I've had 7 different student teachers through my career, and I've always valued the role of being a mentor. And I want to make sure that my student teachers went into this profession and became great teachers for other kids. The most important people in my life, my daughter, I want to make sure she's an amazing teacher. And so if I can have the ability to kind of mentor her through that, I think it's really important for me to do that. And I hope more veteran teachers look at incoming student teachers. We've gotten to a point where there's a lot of veteran teachers who don't want to take student teachers. And I wish more of them understood the gravity or the responsibility that you have in shaping younger teachers. And that's what I've really valued about having Annabeth here is my job as a mentor and, you know, getting her feet on her and being able to, and plus we have a blast. Like she's awesome. She's funny. I get to hang out with her and cool cut the tension and the seriousness sometimes.
Yeah.
It's a pretty cool jokes and like, yeah. So
it's funny.
You know, I take that responsibility pretty seriously with strangers. I'm obviously going to take it pretty seriously with my daughter. So
absolutely. Well, that was the piece as you were talking through that, what I was going to say was you're both like mentoring kind of in all directions.
Yeah.
You know, you're in different ways mentoring each other.
Yeah.
For sure.
You're mentoring students all the way around. It's
Totally.
like, and that goes back to the original point that you both are doing work. You've dedicated your lives, your careers to doing something that makes a difference. And
Yeah.
I hope
cool
so.
is that?
Yeah. Totally.
I hope so. I feel like it. You know, the results, teaching is a hard thing because you don't get instant results. You know, the results I get are when a kid in our first graduating class invites me to his son's graduation, or over Christmas break, I had a couple graduates and I went and had coffee with them. And when I get to see our students grow into truly successful, really good human beings, that's not something you really can measure in education.
Yeah.
And there's no way to quantify that, but you know it when you see it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, even just like the kids I had last year, one kid like last week was like, Miss Johnson, I purposely walked this way so I could say hi to you. Like stuff like that. That's so like minuscule, and you don't like it. And there's no way to quantify that. Like 10 kids came and said hi to me today. But it is so gratifying and
Right.
fulfilling. And like, I haven't had any kids graduate from ThunderRidge yet, like of my students, but I know like the small impact that I've had on them just even in their first few years here. So it's really cool.
And it's been cool for me to watch you, because we'll have discussions at home, and is the littlest things, like you might not know which kid in your class is having a hard day. So try to make every kid feel good about themselves. Try to make every kid feel like they're valued and they're important, because you don't know which kid in that room needs you the most. And I think I've seen that in you, like the patience and the efforts that you've made to help kids really highlights that you know what you're doing, that you value the right things in this job. And so watching that from you has been awesome.
The fact that you're giving people kind of hope and even reason to come to school sometimes. Sometimes kids just need that, right?
Yeah, and you never know which kid it is. You never know
Yeah.
which kid you're making a difference in their life that day.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think it's important that you treat every kid like you're making a difference in their life. And
100%.
and that's why I'm so proud of you, is because that's your approach to teaching.
I know we got to wrap up soon. The impact that you both are making. Thank you for what you're doing.
Oh.
Congratulations on the coolest job relationship anywhere. Like,
It's pretty awesome.
yeah, to work with your daughter, to work with your dad. How
Yeah. Thanks for highlighting this.
Yeah.
So many people are like, you what? Like, they're like, you chose to work with your dad?
Yeah, I don't know
And-
what you were
yeah.
thinking.
Yeah. Like
why,
so many.
why that choice?
Yeah. It's so many
Whole
people.
big world.
They get so funny, or they're like, I would never work with my dad. So
Yeah, it is pretty
Cool.
funny. People
Yeah.
are like, there's no way I could do that.
Yeah.
There's no way I could go see my dad every day at work. And
yeah.
I mean, I
That's-
got myself really lucky. I get to see her every day. So
Yes.
well, and the fact that says something about you as people, that
Yeah.
you want to work with your family.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, some people
Yeah.
just can't do that. The fact that you can, that
Yeah.
is another testament.
It is. It is.
it's so cool too, because I get to see her personality, and she's a wiseacre. Like she'll definitely let me know when I'm being dad at school, which is pretty funny.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty funny.
There's
You're
been
like,
times.
Dad.
Yeah. Yeah. There's been times.
Yeah, I hope I don't embarrass her too much when we're here at school most of the time.
No. It's so funny. I feel like so many of our coworkers think about it more than we do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah, when you asked the question earlier, like, what's it like going to work with your daughter? We have a great relationship outside of school,
Yeah. so-
inside of school. She's just an amazing person in my life. There's lots of amazing people in my life. I don't treat them any differently than I treat her. In fact, I'm maybe harder on her than other people. Yeah, it's the scars. The scars are going to come out, aren't they?
Yeah.
It's
This is why I'm in therapy, Dad.
it's okay.
Yeah.
We'll get you some help.
I have said to a kid before, I'm like, whatever you think is wrong with me is Mr. Johnson's fault.
Yeah, yep, pretty much. I've taken the blame for a lot of the warts. Yeah, it's good times though.
That's awesome.
I feel like we're really lucky
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
be here.
Absolutely. Last question, because I should ask this. So when you're away from work, is it Annabeth? Is it Dad?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Is at work? Is it Miss Johnson? Just
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, it is.
Miss Johnson is
Yeah.
your daughter, and Miss Johnson's walking down the hall. People are like, what is he doing?
Yeah, you told me the first time you heard a kid call me Miss Johnson, you were like, that was so weird.
It was weird seeing my daughter get called Miss Johnson.
Yeah, I was called Mr. Johnson.
But there are times when I'm like, hey, run down to my daughter's room and pick this up. And the kid's like, what? And I'm like, yeah, it's Miss Johnson. Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
My kids, some of my kids know him as the old man.
Yeah, go see the old
Take
man.
this to the old man.
That's right. I'm the old man.
Yeah.
They wheel me in here every morning.
Yeah.
Give me a little straw and some pudding and
Yeah.
I'll do my thing.
Sometimes you call me Miss Johnson when we're just around our coworkers, though. Like,
Yeah,
It's
so
so
that's
weird.
kind of weird.
it's,
That is kind of
It's a different dynamic.
you really want to make sure
Yeah.
everyone knows we're professionals
Right.
together.
Yeah, so now when she's in trouble, instead of using her full name, Annabeth Catherine, now it's Miss Johnson.
Johnson.
Yeah, so the dad voice has become the elder coworker
Like
voice.
on record that I don't get in trouble. I'm 24 years old. I don't get in trouble.
Like I said, I haven't told you what to do since you were 12 years old.
So half your life at
It's
this point.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that was one of the
Didn't work
conditions
then,
of me
it's not
working
going
here
now.
is like, you got to be cool, Dad. Like, you got.
We never had a big discussion, though.
No, we didn't.
We never sat down with, hey, here's the rules if you're going to work with me.
Yeah.
Right?
We never did that. Like, this is pretty organic and
worked.
just
Yeah.
worked.
I could see it. Just this little bit of time that I've gotten to know the both of you. It totally makes sense. Totally makes sense.
Yeah, she's pretty lucky.
Yeah. You both are.
No, it was it.
Thank you.
I guess I'm pretty lucky too. No, it's been awesome.
Absolutely.
And I hope in some ways I've made a positive impact on some kids, which has maybe helped her transition into this job a little bit too, where, hopefully some of my street cred rubs off on her and,
Yeah, it is.
maybe
It
kids
is.
don't hassle her too much and
Yeah.
Yeah.
give her a hard time. I hope.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Exactly.
Because there is that extra like layer of respect you have to work for as a younger teacher. And so I have had kids that have had him before, and I can tell they get it a little bit more than maybe kids who are like, who's this young lady trying to tell us what to do? Like, I
And she's earning it too.
Yeah,
She's earning it for
totally.
who she is, which is really cool to see. But
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, this has been fun. This has been so
Well, this is
enlightening.
fun.
Cool.
well, Jason,
Thanks for doing
thanks for
this.
coming here
Yeah.
and talking to us. Like, it's awesome. It's a weird thing because we know about it and we just live with it every day. But there's not a whole lot of people who really get to see inside what it's like to be teaching together, if we work together.
It's really cool.
It is really cool. And
Very unique experience for sure.
Absolutely.
Like,
Sure.
yeah.
Congratulations on making it work.
Thank you for now.
Yeah.
For now.
This is not over.
I only have 4 months until he's out of here, and then my plan can really begin to unfold.
That's right. That's right. We'll see. I'll be watching from a distance.
I need him as my.
I will be checking those sub plans though and be like, what is this nonsense?
The subplans are going to be a text message.
Did you AI this? Did you Chat GPT write these sub plans for you? What is this? What's the value of the? Yeah. So we'll be
I know how
busting
to
a chop.
work ChatGPT.
Easy, Grok. I'll be watching for afar,
Yeah.
It's going to be cool.
giving her feedback, and I'll be able to mentor her whole life. So,
It is true.
and I'll get my kid fixed too. So, tricks up.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So good. Thank you both so much. And,
Thank you, Jason.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of the year with this cool setup.
Thank
We certainly
you.
will.
Yeah, this is awesome.
Thanks for listening to the DCSD Notebook Podcast, where we're not done featuring fathers and daughters who teach in the same school. Next episode, we have the Sweeneys from Bear Canyon Elementary in Highlands Ranch, and a daughter who teaches at Sierra Middle School in Parker. This is another example of a committed DCSD family that's passionate about educating future generations and building up children and teenagers for success. To make sure you don't miss that or any future episodes, hit the follow button in your favorite podcast app. And if you like what you're hearing from the DCSD Notebook and our monthly Parent University episodes, do us a favor and tell someone about it.